Yeah, I'm back. Colt, Spit and Tax Upholstery. So today, I just wanted to spit something out real quick. Everybody does things differently, okay? This is how I do things, all right? Sometimes they forget things, or I might say something that I told you differently in a video before. Videos are different for everyone to make them, but bear with me and you'll see that none of that matters. And I thank you for your comments. There's some great people that are talking to us right now. And I'm glad that I can help you. This is what we do. We live and breathe this, and you'll get better at it as time goes on. So thank you for continuing to watch, and I'll try not to do too much BS. So today what we're doing is a friend of mine, a new friend of mine, call him Coach. He's here in Spokane, Washington. And he wanted his windows done, him and his wife. And so what we did was, this is the window glass right here. And they had, if you can see right here, they had these pieces of 1-inch binding sewn into the window glass, okay? And that was where the frame of the bows, on the top of the boat, to keep it from rubbing and whatever. But you can see that it did not work well. So I would recommend the little foam circles, put those around your bows on your boat if they're rubbing up against the outside of your windows. Anyway, so what I did, this was really trashed. He thought it was trashed. It really wasn't. It just needed cleaned up. So I used a little bit of degreaser and I cleaned it all up. But there's a way to do this. So when you grab, this is 30 mil smoke. This is clear. This is all clear. Okay, but this is smoke down here, 30 mil. This is like probably, I don't know, maybe a 15 or a 10. But so we're upping the gauge thickness. And there's a trick to this. Now over time, tops will shrink. The sun is brutal. And this is basically made out of oil. All of these plastics, these are petroleum based. So when the sun hits them, there's not a whole lot of UV integrity in them. So they're going to, over time, they're gonna draw up, and you're gonna have a hell of a tough time setting your snaps and putting your top on and off, or rolling up your windows, or whatever the configuration is that you possess. But what I mean by that is, I want you to see what I'm doing here. Okay, I have a floating ruler that I can see through, okay? And it's 18 inches by 3. So if you come over here, if you look, can you see that from there?
Yep, I'm zooming in.
Okay, so you can see where these, that 1-inch, they had a 1-inch piece of binding that went like this and went like this and went like that. You can see where it was. And it distorted the window glass. But their theory was the bars of the top, the bows or whatever, this would keep it from wearing through. So I told him, eliminate that and put some foam on your bows. Well, see what it did down here? You can see how it pulled away. Now, how it was, when you go to do this, you lay out your smoke. Okay, I'm gonna jump around a little bit. You lay out your glass. I stapled it down on the edges here and then pulled it tight up here and let it relax. Okay, it comes like this with this paper on the back. Put the paper down so it's always floating, it's always clean, it's not gonna get marred. And then you pull it tight, and I stapled it here and I stapled it there. So it's flat, okay? You might have a couple little whoopties, but hardly any. After a while, it has memory. So you take out all your snaps, wash off all of what I use is where is it? Where are you hiding from me? This right here. This is what I use. I use an orange powered heavy degreaser. Okay, this stuff's rock star. They ought to pay me for this ad, but they won't. But so when you think that this is spent, the frame. Okay, now windows, there's a frame. They all snap in. Up here is a zipper. This zips into the top, and then this all snaps down around the perimeter. So you remove all the snaps, okay? And then you're going to replace this glass. Clearly, that's what we're doing. I'm saving him some money. So what you simply do is trace the whole piece, okay? So you can see, when I fold this over, you can see the old the old glass comes right down around the whole thing. You need that when you put your snaps through there. That gives it more meat, something to hold on to. I mean, it's not going anywhere. But like I said, it distorted. So you want to trace the whole piece, the frame and all, on top of this, okay? And you lay the good side up, all right? And then in this instance, where if I show you this, you can see how it was bunched up there in the middle, okay? Well, now pull it back and lay it flat. That's how much the sun distorted this piece. You can see that. It's crazy. They were having a hard time snapping their top in. So I've got it all cleaned and all laid out. But what you do when it's bunched up like this, what you do is just cut that one side and leave these other two sides intact. And then just simply trace around the whole thing, okay? That's your pattern. And then cut the other two out. And then you have this frame, okay? This is how you do this. Rewind and watch this again and again and again. It doesn't matter what shape it is. When you go to do this, you get your, whether it's clear or smoke, laid out, stretched out, stapled to the table, pulled tight, bam, bam, boom, boom. You got the plastic on the bottom. It comes like this when you buy it. Clean your piece. And if it has a distortion like this, where it's bunched up, and you're having a hard time getting your top on and off, that's the area that's your relief. Okay, you cut that right along the frame. And don't worry about this that's right there. Okay, I'm going to come through and I'm going to take these stitches out with my seam ripper. You remember the seam ripper, okay? This is what we use. And there's different styles of them, but these are good. You can buy these on Amazon. $10 for a pack of 20. Just like one window I use, one throw it away. But so that's it. Make sure your piece is flat. Make sure that whatever it's clear or it's smoke, it's flat. Has the paper on the back. Take your frame, lay it out accordingly. This one is actually 60 inches by 28. That's with the frame. So anyway, you go through and you just kind of flatten it out. And like I said, again, your eye will tell you. Your eye will tell you. You can see how that had bunched up. So you want to just scooch it back just a little bit, because you start at the end and you look at this end and you just want to just adjust it. Just adjust it. Just barely like that. But look at that. That is a 1/2 inch of shrinkage over time. Okay? And this top has never been off. And then it goes from a 1/2 inch and it tapers down to, 1/4, an 1/8, a 1/16. Okay? And then the top up here is just marginal. But your pattern is from the perimeter of this particular piece of window glass with the frame and the glass in it. Remember where it's bunched up, adjust it, and then trace that new perimeter with one of these. Okay, this is a white chalk pencil. Now you can see over here. If you drag it just right. Oh, this damn thing. Or if that wants to give you a hard time, hey, we're at the mercy of our tools. Let's see. See this? Just a regular old chalk pencil. So what I always have is, this is almost spent. So you get these, see that? Little button, boom, put your chalk in there like that, and it holds it. Leave about 1 inch out. Take a piece of 2x4, strap a piece of sandpaper to it. Bring it to a nice taper. Okay. And then get in where you fit in. Just make sure, like it'll hold itself. Just make sure that it's totally extended. Boom. Okay. And then it's totally extended. You got room on each edge. This is adjusted to where it's flat. Your eye will tell you. You can see how that used to go. Yeah. Yeah. It'll reveal itself. But like I said, we all do this differently. Some people, I'm trying to save in money. And that's what this is, okay? This isn't how I would do this normally. This is a salvage operation. His frame is fine. He just wants new glass in it. And he wanted those pieces of 1-inch binding that were sewn on here, just like that. That's what it looked like before. That was sewn on there, and then that was sewn on there, and then there was a little short piece right there. You know, but the bars that held the top on, you know, it all kind of blended into one another, but you can see how it wrinkled up and distorted. You don't want that. That's why it's so far off your eye right here, okay, on this margin here. That's how, when you're in the boat, you're going to see what that looks like. So you want to straighten that out, and then, you know, you go back through and pull it to where it's flat and it's relaxed. You can lean into your pieces like this and pull them tight. Okay, this is how to save your frame, save yourself some money, and do it yourself. Okay? But don't get too crazy. You know, I wouldn't, just so that lays flat, okay? And then walk on your outside. So I'm happy with that. So you kind of ride the edge of your existing pattern. See how I'm doing that? I just kind of gently float it. My hand is hardly even holding on. Okay, and then you just gently slide it across the top. Okay, but this is important right here. And if you look, you can see my line. Okay. Yep, you just be very mindful of what you're doing and take your time. I mean, what's the hurry? What's the hurry? There is no hurry. Just do it once and lay your hand down. Or like this, when you're in the big fields, use your ruler. Push on it, come around. You see that? You just need enough to where you know where where to cut. And if you go out of the line like I just did right there, don't worry. Go back and... Now, another little trick. Okay, so... you want to go inside of the line. I know I've told you to cut outside of the line when you're tracing patterns, okay? That's just vinyl. In this instance, cut inside of the line because you're already adjusting for a shrinkage right here. You see that big 1/2 inch right there? Because of this, and then the sun itself, and time. This is probably 15 years old, this top. Inside the line, okay? I know it's a lot, and you know, you're like, what is, this guy is all over the map. But really, I'm not. You hold it down and you trace it true. You just hold it down and you trace it true. Push down with that. These rulers, this is a good tool to use. It's a great tool to use. Get right up next to that. But yeah, these boat windows, and you might get a little squiggle here and there, but the line prior or in front, whatever, keep your eye true. If you got a little squiggle in the middle, just run right through it and leave that squiggle behind. You know what I mean? So don't panic. Don't overthink things. Okay, now this this comes down like this, and I did 2 witness marks. This witness mark's right here. That is where my zipper stop is. And this witness mark right here is where it begins. So this is a zipper on the bottom. These are snaps all the way around the perimeter. Okay, so now what you want to do is, while it's laid out like this and you have readjusted it, okay, what you do is you bring, it's called a regulator in the upholstery world, okay, and it is this little treater right here, okay. It's a regulator. So like when you're doing, you're putting backs on chairs and you have a tack strip and you're folding it in, you're running it down, and you know, you're using this a lot to manipulate that fabric. You use this a lot for a lot of different things. So, okay, you have your perimeter traced out. So basically what you're going to do is, you know, you're going to cut this out once you have this all traced. We have this traced. So in the meantime, we want to come through, we're happy where we're at, and we're going to just poke this regulator in the middle. Boom. 1. These are our existing snaps. Okay. So again, this is to keep the existing frame of your window. This is a way, you know, to help somebody out. I mean, he's got the money. This guy has the money to, you know. But why spend the money if you don't have to? And somebody like me is willing to do it. Yep. And so, in like these are different kinds of clips. Those big circles that you're seeing there are these. All right. Those go on there, and they have a back plate. Okay. And those are different kinds of anchors. So when you have those bigger anchors, what I recommend you do is, instead of, you know, go ahead and poke the hole in the middle, but use a permanent marker and draw out that whole circle. Okay? Poke a hole in the very middle and then use a permanent marker and draw the whole circle. Okay, on this particular one, there's 3. So I'll draw the whole circle and I'll come back and poke a hole right in the middle. So then I know, no matter what, that's the center. Okay, because there's a little turn key that goes through that hole. You know, if you're a marine person, you know what I'm talking about. So that's how you do those. You mark them in the middle, and then permanent marker, because you're going to cut that out. So we've went down, and we have established where all of our snaps are going. And if you were making a new frame, okay, now if this was a new frame, you wouldn't do this. You do the snaps on site, and you use those tools right there. Everything that's sitting there right there, that's what you use to put snaps in. Mobile snaps on site. So you have snaps, you got the tops, the caps, and then you have the cap fitting, and then you have the different jigs that are there, and then you have those little tiny plastic circles that go on top of the caps, and then you punch them in. I'll show you later in the later video. But anyway, so we're coming up, and all right, so we're good there. We're good there. We want to go back and bam, bam. Okay, we're good there. We're good there. We're good there, good there, good there, good there, good there. Am I killing you yet? Yep, so we're good, we're good, we're good, we're good. Oh yeah, we're good. So that's how you trace out a window. Lay down your smoke or your clear. Staple it on your table, pull it tight, bam, 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 bam. Let it relax. Give it 10, 15 minutes. In a heated room like this. Got the fireplace going back here, you can see. So, I mean, it's hot in here. I mean, I'm going to have to skin this in a minute. And then take all your snaps off. And then if you have a gathering like that, where it's all bunched up, and you want to eliminate this, take that off, because that'll help relax this so you get a true pattern. Don't try to take your pattern with this off. That's why I took that 1-inch binding that they had on there off that was allegedly supposed to protect this window from the bars of the bows of the top of the, you know, the cover of the boat. So this is how you do this, okay? So our next step is we take this off, we cut this out, we punch our holes. You know, you want to get a good punch, okay? Get your. I bought a really nice East German one. It was like $140, but it's sweet. So that's it for now. And then our next video, I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you how to put snaps on this after we sew it. Next step is I'm going to cut this, and the whole thing comes out after I cut this new one out. So I know where my perimeters are, and it just sews on, simple, easy. But in the meantime, we're keeping the frame, okay? But we have to go back through and we have to seam rip all of this old thread out. And then our new stitch, we're going to go back over this old one, okay? So that's it. I'm Colt from Spit and Tex Upholstery. We're in Spokane, Washington. Please like and subscribe. Be patient with me. Like I said, everybody does things differently. If I forget something or, that's not what you said in the old video. You get to talking like this and you forget sometimes. Thank you for correcting me. So God bless, and I'll see you around like a donut.